There's a lot of decisions you have to make when you have a baby. And the one that I feel the most comfortable and safe making is using Huggies for our daughter, River. The new Huggies Skin Essentials are here. A brand new dermatologist-approved line of diapers, wipes, and pull-ups training pants are all designed with baby's sensitive skin in mind.
Their wipes have 0 harsh ingredients for a great, gentle clean.
The Skin Essentials diapers features the Skin Protect liner, which is what helps take care of the ick and stick that can cause rash.
Their whole diaper helps protect against the top 2 causes of rash by managing moisture and runny mess. Pull-Up Skin Essentials has got your big kid covered too with a training pant that is ultra soft and breathable to help protect sensitive skin throughout potty training. Learn more at Huggies.com. Once again, head to Huggies.com to learn more. Meredith, welcome to the Viall Files.
Hi,
We're
thank
so
you
excited.
for having
We're
me.
so excited to have you.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
How have you been? What's like? I feel like I want to ask 50 questions all at once, but yeah, how are you?
I'm great.
You're
I'm
great.
happy to be in LA today and, feeling better. I was really sick a couple days ago on my birthday, which was not a
You were
fun
sick
day
on
to
your
be
birthday?
Sick. Yeah,
What'd you-
it kind of stinks.
Like, what'd you have?
I don't know. Just like a cough and
Ugh.
cold and
Kind of that seasonal ickiness.
yucky. Yeah, just yucky.
Were you able to enjoy the birthday?
Well, so I spent the whole day in bed resting, and then I finally got dressed and went with Seth and 2 of the kids. Brooks wasn't in town, and their significant others to the Nines in New York. So we had a great evening. It was fun. But my day was literally in bed. I was so tired.
Any
Anyway.
bath bombs on your birthday?
No, I didn't have any bath bombs on my birthday. I should have, though. I just took like a quick bath to get dressed and go to dinner because I was moving really slow.
Okay.
Okay. I've been into baths more recently, and I actually asked Nick, I don't know if you have one, but a bath pillow, and it's like this big, it's not like your typical over the back of the bathtub Bed Bath & Beyond pillow. It's like a luxurious, big, like bedding pillow that you lean up against.
Okay,
Do you
I'm
have?
not familiar with this.
I'll have to
and
send you
it's-
the link.
Yes, I need to know.
Do you
all
not
about
have a
it.
bath pillow?
Mary, can you
No,
Google
you
bath
I didn't even
pillow?
know that was a thing.
Are you not like a little uncomfortable in the bath where you're like, my back kind of is up against this hard?
I mean, I think it will be much more enjoyable
It will
to
be
be on a pillow.
so much more
I
enjoyable.
didn't know that was even a possibility. You
No,
really,
it's amazing.
like, opened my
What do we
mind
have here,
up.
I
babe?
to
sent
so
you a
many
link for
things.
Christmas, Nick. You didn't get it?
Wait, is that on the shopping
Oh,
list?
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
but
a
it's,
lot of
I think the
them.
only one that they have right now is the foot pillow. So they have a butt pillow, a foot pillow, and a back pillow. This like
How do you
company.
keep it clean.
The one that I'm talking about, I don't know what any of these are, but the one that I'm talking about is like you like take the lining off and wash it, and then the inside is like dries very fast.
I mean, they could
You know
use
what I'm
like the gel you use like in an ice pack.
saying?
Kind of thing,
Yeah,
I bet.
I wonder what
It's
the
not on
inside-
your list.
Well, it's sold out, so I had to
Different
write
list.
sold out.
Oh, is that the one that says sold out?
Sold out, yeah.
I mean, I think I have to make a bath pillow.
No, you have to make a bath pillow.
I
That's
think we need
next
to make a
for
tub
you.
with the pillow like is a part of the tub.
No, you do. You need to drop bath pillows next.
I like that.
That's a great idea.
Well, I was telling the team we should get like a 12-piece bath bomb centerpiece, and then Justin was like, they're too hard to find. They're too in demand.
Everyone wants a
apparently-
Meredith Marks bath
Yeah.
bomb.
Is that-
Wow. We love that.
Can we get more supply?
on the
Like-
bath bombs?
Yeah. Why are they
I
so hard to
mean-
find, Meredith?
They sold out in like a week.
Let's get more.
That's up to Lush. They've got to do
Okay.
it. I don't control the inventory. They do.
You just control
They're
the
the
demand.
ones with the whole factory,
That's
not
true.
me.
That's true. That's true. You just control the demand.
Exactly.
There's too much
so I
demand.
did my job. They sold out in like a week.
Do you like gifts?
I mean, I do like gifts, but I'm not someone who will give you a huge list or whatever else. I like something that comes like
From
from
the heart?
someone's heart. Yeah, it's not about getting what I want. It's more about the person who's giving, you
Sure.
know?
And I think Natalie, my wife, who's sitting right next to you, would probably not give me a lift if I listened.
Yeah.
And she
Well-
knew I'd get something from the heart.
You know, I feel like, and I don't know if you're this way. I mean, you have 3 grown children, so I feel like maybe you've learned this throughout the years of like, maybe someone will say, oh God, I would love I just need a good pair of black boots. I need a good, just like they'll say that in January maybe or June. And then you clock that, you think about it, Christmas, they remember they wanted a good pair of black boots.
Yeah, that's a really good gift giver. I might not be that good.
Yeah. And if in January Natalie says, I need a good pair of black boots, I'm going to go a good pair of black boots. I'm going to go to Clark's or Exactly.
Clark's.
I don't know. Like, who makes boots? Highlander?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
yeah. So I do have to. I made Nick like a full PDF of like pictures, the link, the size,
Very
the color.
helpful.
See, this is the thing. I send out these family texts like to the whole family, extended, everybody. I'm like, what does everybody want for the holidays? I want everyone to tell me, but then I want them to do all the hard part.
For you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like maybe that's not so nice at the end of the day. But I just like I want to give people what they want.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just don't know.
I just think it's very nice. I look at it as she's setting me up for success. She's making the list. She probably checks it twice, and then and I click that link and I see if there's in stock.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Right?
I think that's good. Maybe I should be a little kinder to my husband and set him up for success.
What has been the best gift you have received from Seth?
My children.
I thought you were going to say an orgasm.
No, I have to put the kids first. Sorry.
Yeah. The kids
But the orgasm's pretty good?
That's it.
Okay.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So kids, we love our kids. Great.
Yeah, the kids are great.
What are your age gaps between your three?
They're like 2 years and 2.5 years apart. So they're pretty close.
Yeah.
Did you like that? We had our first. She's 10 months old, and we spent a lot of time kind of asking parents like yours who've done it, have had success with parenting, like the age gap. Like, do we jam it all in? Do we get it over with? Do we spread it out? Like,
I mean,
pros
for
and cons?
me, look, I've seen like both ways, obviously. For me, I wanted everyone close together at first because I'm 2 years apart from my sister, and I kind of like that dynamic as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, just as like the parent, I mean, I think it's really hard to like have all your kids like out of diapers, very independent, and then go back to it again. I just think logistically it's easier to have them a little closer in age. I think it's nice, like a nice dynamic for them, to be closer in age for that. But then like I see the dynamics with kids that are, spread further apart, and that's kind of amazing too. I just think from the mothering standpoint, it's so much easier to have them close together. But that's what I know. So
that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Obviously, y'all have just filmed the reunion. How are you feeling post-reunion?
I feel pretty good post-reunion. I have no idea what will unfold. And, obviously you're not going to see I don't know how many hours we were there. Like, what was it, like 15 hours or whatever? I'm making that up. Don't quote me.
It was a long time.
It was long.
time.
It was really long. So, I don't know what will be shown or not shown, but I feel like I said the things that I really needed to say, and you have to move forward. Like, that's life. Like, I no one wants to sit in the same place. So, I said what I needed to say. I don't know if I necessarily received everything I was hoping to receive, but it's fine. C'est la vie. We move on. And you take that in stride and say, okay, this is what you're willing to be accountable for or not. And I got you, and I'm moving on, and we'll move forward. But the capacity in which we move forward is always impacted by your ability or inability to take accountability.
Yeah, very true. Could you preview for us the reunion in the sense who was on your list of you were hoping would be accountable?
I think to me, the most important thing for the reunion was to clear something up. That I've spent 2 years listening to the women, mainly Angie, to some degree still Whitney, but say that I'm responsible for these rumors about Sean and his affairs or his sexuality or whatever it is. And the reality is I never spoke about it. Angie was told that at après-ski. Monica, actually, you didn't see it, but Monica, when I first came over and was talking with him, I looked at Monica, I go, what is this about? I never said this to you. And she goes, you're right. I didn't. You didn't. I told you. And she said this to Angie the day it happened. And for whatever reason, Angie kept coming after me. She was told again at Greek Easter. She kept rolling with it. We cleared it up again at Reunion last year. Monica has on her own podcast been very clear that it wasn't me. And Angie keeps putting it out there. And so for me, the real big difficulty with that whole thing, and Sean, his commentary on the podcast saying that, and leverage means to use to maximum advantage. For those who need a dictionary, she leveraged her son means she used her son. She leveraged her son, exact words. The reason it's so offensive to me was because it's impossible. How could I use my son to defend myself against something I never even did to begin with? So the whole thing was just insane. And it just felt like a very vindictive behavior towards me, because I didn't understand why they kept coming after me for something that they knew I didn't do from the day that it even came up.
Do you think maybe it's just like they just assume, maybe from past situations that it was you because you seem, I think a lot of people think you are very smart. You have a lawyer background. I think in previous seasons, it was when I got into Salt Lake City, it was always Meredith Mark, she can always find the tea, and she kind of maneuvers that way. Do you think that was accurate maybe in the past and not so much this time? Or do you think that reputation is just kind of completely unfair?
I think it's pretty unfair. I mean, I think that we all receive information about each other.
Sure.
That's 100% true. I've gotten DMs recently about people, not just even my castmates. I just got one this morning about a person I use for glam. And I was like, what? I mean, it's so weird.
That is crazy.
So we get sent stuff all the time. There are rumors flying about absolutely everybody. And they all hear it. I hear it. We do. It's not like I'm doing anything. I quite frankly, I have said the least about anyone else on this cast. I have said very little. I mean, I'll talk about how I feel. I'll talk about how I'm treated by them. But I don't talk about their other stuff. I really don't. I mean, I'll listen. I can't control what's said to me. That I have no control over.
Do you ladies have a rule between what rumors are discussed in platform? Because sometimes it's even on the show, and I don't know how much is it is the show, where it's just I think it was the Whitney, the Alibaba stuff. I don't know where that came from, but it was I think Lisa was well, this is happening and this is what people are saying, and then we're all watching a show and you guys are discussing a rumor, but discussing the rumor kind of platforms the rumor.
100%.
And now it's well, now the rumor's out there, and whoever the rumor is about, most of the time. Well, especially if it's inaccurate, but either way, you just you don't want the rumor out there. And it feels like sometimes the group kind of picks and choose which rumors to talk about. How do you guys decide? Or is that just an individual
I don't think
basis?
there's any, I mean, look, I can't speak for anyone but myself. I don't have any agreements with anyone of what to bring up or not to bring up. I'm not the one who brings stuff up generally. I'm really not. I mean, Lisa brought that to me. I didn't bring it to Lisa. When I even mentioned, let's talk about the husbands and whatever with Lisa, it was all a reaction to stuff Angie was saying about my husband that just wasn't shown. She was saying horrible things at that table about my husband. That's the only reason I said, let's talk about the husbands.
Oh.
So, it wasn't in reference
You don't
to,
throw the first stone.
No, but I am human.
Right. No, totally,
I'm not
yeah.
saying that was an appropriate reaction. Of course, I shouldn't have said anything, but I'm a human being and I lose my temper too, just like everybody else.
Yeah. And if someone's, coming after your husband, I would be very protective as well. So
Yeah,
and I
didn't even say anything about her husband. She had a lot of nasty things to say about mine, though. Everything she has accused me of are things that she has actually done to me. That's the crazy part. Look at her scroll. Those are all things she's done to me. I've done none of them to her.
That's right. I forgot about that scroll.
Yeah.
How do you move forward with Angie if it is this constant thing where, we have seen her apologies that aren't the best apologies. And if you feel like you're just chasing one, how do you move on?
Well, I'm not chasing an apology because I don't really want an apology that somebody doesn't want to
Right.
give to me.
not
So it's
sincere.
not about someone admitting that they're wrong or saying that they're sorry. It's about them genuinely feeling it, and if it's fake, it's irrelevant anyway. So it's not about that. I don't really care that much. It's more for me. If you notice, almost every single confrontation that has gone on between me and Angie, it's been her approaching me. She always has a problem with me. She's holding a grudge against me. I honestly think she feels like I stole her snowflake. And that's really what the problem started from, because she seemed to have an issue with me from before we ever even, knew each other. I think she feels like, well, Meredith's only in Utah half the time. She's not originally from here, and she wanted to be on the show from day one. And I think she felt like I took her spot and was like angry at me. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't really, because I didn't know her, and we had like problems from before we even knew each other. It's odd, but it's not about me. If she wants to move forward, we can move forward as long as she stops bringing another problem to me.
Right.
Like every time I see her, she has another problem, and she's interrupting the next guy to, da 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 da,
Yeah.
So it's up to her at this point, I'm moving on. Everything we discussed at reunion, her reactions, her behaviors, and what she says about it speaks to who she is. So if she doesn't want to take accountability, that speaks to her. That's fine. I'm still moving on. I'm not sitting in the past.
If you were to try to just radical empathy, how do you, from your POV, how do you think Angie sees this situation? Like, what's her perspective of why there's such a disconnect between both of your POVs on this situation?
I think that she had a problem with me, like I said, before we ever really met. And I say that for a number of reasons. Number
one,
think she herself is...
Do you think she would agree, be like, yeah, I've never really liked Meredith since the beginning?
I don't think she'd actually admit that. I don't know what she would say. Maybe she would. I have no idea. I really don't know. I don't really know her at the end of the day.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe she would. I don't know. The reason I say it is, she flat out told me that she was ripping into me with Jen before, anything started. She basically apologized to Brooks to listening to, things about him when she first met him. It was very odd. And, she's had a problem from day one. So I've just sort of gone about living my life and tried to ignore it and keep moving on, and she keeps coming back with more problems. So hopefully she's ready to move on and be an adult here. I don't know.
Okay.
I do think you are able to be the bigger person. I mean, I think we especially saw it in this last episode where at the dinner table, you're like, okay, maybe I don't know the full story about the whole slut shaming and high body count hair. And you were able to be like, I think, I'm sorry and I don't know the full story. And it would be nice to hear that from her. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I am in the wrong, I have no problem apologizing. I can even apologize for a situation where I don't think I'm in the wrong. Like, it was very easy for me to say to Sean, I didn't do this, but I feel badly that you even went through it and that you even thought I had a part in it, and I could apologize even for that, even though I didn't do it. And so to me, I don't understand. Like, if somebody's hurt, I'm sorry that they are hurt, whether I caused it or not. It's at least okay to acknowledge someone else's pain.
Finish the sentence. This season of Salt Lake City for Meredith was blank. Like, how would you summarize it?
This season of Salt Lake City was enlightening.
Enlightening. How was it enlightening?
I think I learned a lot more about myself.
Okay.
I think I learned a lot more about most of the other women. I think I learned that you can't change the game. You have to change the way you play it.
Okay.
And I think that's really important.
I love that. Okay, so many potential questions from your answer. I love it. All right. How have you changed? Or what did you learn about yourself? And then let's go down what did we learn about the ladies?
I learned that I've become a little reactive on things, and I want to go back to not being as reactive. I think that I felt for a long time that I was not being heard because I wasn't yelling and screaming, and that yelling and screaming could solve some of that, and it really doesn't.
It is great TV.
It is, but it just kind of makes me feel a little crazy.
Yeah, that was iconic.
I've learned that, there's always going to be another perspective and the way people view things, especially like with the conflict I had with Mary and how she viewed this all unfolding versus how I did. So that was very interesting, and that you also don't necessarily always know what's going on behind the scenes that's impacting the way someone behaves and treats you. And it's important to, do your best. I mean, I did ask and I tried, but, I maybe could have done better, I'm always trying to do better. I am. I don't know. I mean, that's, kind of, I think.
Okay, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
What about, what did we learn about Lisa?
I learned that Lisa and I really had a lot of misunderstandings. We really went into this whole process with pretty poor communication with each other, and it led to a lot of really big problems. And I've learned from Lisa that different friends have different needs from their friends, and they have different requirements that you may or may not require, and sometimes it's hard to navigate that. Like, I'm not someone who needs a ton of reassurance, and Lisa is, and my husband is, and that's something I learned, through a lot of the stuff I went through with Seth. And so once I was able to understand that, which, took a while, I was able to better navigate the friendship. And Lisa and I have learned really just to be very straightforward with each other, and we're not letting everyone else get in between us. There's a lot of gas thrown on the fire. I think there's a lot of jealousy that we are friends, maybe some fear to some degree. I don't know, but I think a lot of the women don't want us to be friends. And you saw a lot of it through the season, a lot of meddling, and now we're very aware of it. So it's like, keep trying, go for it. It's just going to show who you are.
Who meddles the most in trying to break you and Lisa up, do you feel?
I think over the long term, we'd have to say Whitney for sure.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think she does that? I don't know. I don't know.
Why do you think that is? I guess what are...
why is it evident?
What's the evidence from your perspective of why
just things she said to me about Lisa, things I know she's said to Lisa about me, things she's, stirred the pot in, like my father's memorial, she told me it was all Lisa's fault, like that she had nothing to do with it, this, that, and the other, things like that. She plays a lot of behind the scenes games, stirring things up. She told Lisa, like, there's this whole thing at Whitney's, what was it, when she rebranded, and she invited some guy to the party that she was saying that was like sleeping with Lisa, which wasn't true, and was like trying to apparently make a whole thing out of it. And then she told Lisa that I invited this guy. I didn't even know who the guy was at the party. I found out after the fact when Whitney told me. So, it's like, how could I have invited the guy? I didn't even know who he was, and the whole thing's insane.
Who is the guy again?
Some guy. I don't even know. Lisa.
And then Whitney was saying how there was something going on between Lisa and this guy.
Yeah, Lisa was. Whitney was making this whole thing up that Lisa was having an affair with him and was bringing him supposedly to like out Lisa. I don't know. The whole thing's insane, But then she went. The whole thing's insane to begin with. That anyone's going to those lengths to try to out somebody. But above and beyond that, she then tried to blame it on me. She tried to blame calling Mary a predator on me. She keeps trying to blame her actions on me. And usually it's in the form of trying to ruin my relationship with Lisa, but apparently it branched out into Mary now too. So there we go.
But you would say you and Lisa are closer than ever?
Yes, Lisa and I are definitely closer than ever, and we have a totally new and different friendship. And it's kind of like, I say the same thing with my marriage. Like Seth and I went through some really tough times, and we nearly got divorced. We didn't. We were separated, but we call it our second marriage. It's a new relationship. And I feel the same way about Lisa. And so like when the girls are always trying to throw history in our face, like you did this, you did that, da, 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 we embarked on a new friendship. So we don't care about what happened in the past, and we're not going to let it impact the present. And so maybe when they get that memo, maybe if they're listening, they will, and they stop trying to do that, they can come up with a new mechanism to try to destroy our friendship, and maybe they'll succeed. I don't know, but the old one's not going to work anymore.
The holidays are a time to spend at home with the family. Wayfair has everything you need to create holiday magic at home, whether you are honoring traditions or looking to make new memories. Wayfair is an online retailer that sells a variety of home goods, including furniture, decor, lighting, and kitchenware. Wayfair is the place to shop for all things home, everything from sofas to spatulas. Wayfair's huge selection of home items makes it easy to find exactly what's right for you. You name it, they have it. Plus, they also have great office furniture. Just as an aside, we used Wayfair big time when we were setting up our studio. It really is an unbelievable selection that Wayfair has. Wayfair is the go-to destination for every home, no matter your style or budget. They have a huge selection of home goods ranging from appliances to area rugs to beds and wall art. So this holiday season, look no further when you are doing your shopping at Wayfair. Set the scene for new holiday memories with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now and get your home holiday ready. That's wayfair.com, WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Finding the perfect gift often means giving someone something they'll love, but wouldn't get for themselves. Nutrafol is a great option that fits the bill. They will be thanking you later. Get them something they actually need instead of another sweater or a gift card. Gifting Nutrafol is a meaningful way to show you care about their well-being and confidence. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement trusted by over 1 million people, seeing thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. I've used Nutrafol for years now. It was a product that was my saving grace when I was postpartum and was going through hair thinning, and thank you to Nutrafol. I feel like my hair is in the best shape it has ever been. It is the longest it's ever been. It's the thickest it's ever been, and it's all because of Nutrafol. Everyone's root causes of hair thinning are different, and Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow throughout different stages, such as postpartum and menopause, as well as different lifestyles.
Nutrafol supplements support healthy hair from within by targeting root causes of thinning like stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism as they evolve through a woman's life. With Nutrafol, building a hair growth routine is simple. Purchase online, no prescriptions required, free shipping, and automated deliveries ensure you'll never miss a day. See results in 3 to 6 months. Whether you're gifting to yourself or a loved one, give the gift of great hair growth. This holiday season, right now, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off any order. Enjoy free shipping when you subscribe. Go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code VIALL GIFT. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code Viall Gift. That's VIALLGIFT. That's Nutrafol.com. Promo code Viall Gift.
This podcast is sponsored by Laundry Sauce. Laundry Sauce created the world's best smelling laundry detergent in simple to use pods. Laundry Sauce has transformed doing laundry into a luxurious and exciting experience you will never have to dread laundry day again. From Australian sandalwood to Egyptian rose to Siberian pine, laundry day will never smell the same again. So what's the secret sauce behind Laundry Sauce? Laundry Sauce was created in 2021 by a team who were bored by the boring scents in the detergent aisle. They sought out the world's #1 fragrance house to bring beautiful, complex aromas made from high-quality natural ingredients and put them in a powerful stain-fighting laundry pod. Laundry Sauce has some of the most authentic reviews you can ever read. After using Laundry Sauce for the first time, a reviewer said it can only be described as delicious. Laundry Sauce also makes scent booster dryer sheets, dryer balls, fabric softeners, and even candles.
Love those dryer balls.
Laundry has always been my favorite chore, but it's even more my favorite chore now that we use Laundry Sauce because it smells so good and it gets stains out so easily.
I just love the way my clothes are smelling thanks to Laundry Sauce. I don't do laundry. That's Nally's passion. But I'm passionate about how it smells thanks to Laundry Sauce. Now is the time to elevate your laundry ritual with Laundry Sauce. Head over to laundrysauce.com/VIALL and use promo code VIALL at checkout for 15% off. That's the best offer you'll ever find, but you must use our code VIALL for 15% off your order. One last time, that's laundrysauce.com/VIALL, promo code VIALL for 15% off. Do you I've never met Lisa and I've never got a chance to meet you, and we're obviously big fans of the whole show. Just watching it, I feel like Lisa never apologizes, at least on camera. What is inaccurate about that perception that I might have of Lisa?
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the reunion.
Okay.
How long have you and Seth been married? Total?
28 years.
28 years.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What almost caused the divorce?
Oh my gosh. Well, we were separated on and off multiple times over like years. And when we were almost getting divorced and when we had filed was when the kids all left the house.
Mm.
And that became the time where it was kind of like,
So you guys straight up filed? Wow.
yeah, but we never really went down the path. It
Sure.
was a filing that never went anywhere. But basically we went and found a better therapist.
Okay.
But yeah, when the kids were all out of the house, it was like, there's no reason to stay together anymore. And so if we're not going to make this work, and we didn't really think we were, because we had seen other therapists, we had been in couples counseling, and we just thought like that it was not going to happen. And then we got this incredible new therapist we were recommended to, and he like basically taught us how to communicate with each other. I mean, that was the whole problem. Our communication was completely broken.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you give us any tips and tricks for the people listening?
Yeah. Like instead, like if someone tells you their feelings, accept it and don't take it as, a judgment on you, and embrace and tell them, like, of course you don't want them to feel that way. Like,
Right.
Seth would be like, I feel da da da. And I'd be like, well, you da 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 da. And he'd be like, well,
you get defensive. You
right.
get,
And
It's like,
that
I'm
doesn't
sad. Well,
work.
I didn't do anything to make you sad or
Exactly,
something. Yeah.
exactly. And so, of course, like if Seth is hurt or upset, I don't want him to feel that way. And maybe I don't agree with what he thinks I did, but he still is entitled to feel that way. And I don't want, you have to be respectful. So that's really the bottom line for us more than anything, was learning how to be respectful of each other's feelings. And then we started to communicate, deeply again. But for a while, our communications just became completely transactional because when it went beyond that, it was just nasty.
When was this reunion between you and Seth?
Really during COVID more than
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
I'm probably one of the few people on this planet who can say that Real Housewives coupled with COVID saved their marriage.
Wow.
Somehow I have the feeling I might be the only one.
Yeah,
Besides
You
that.
might be the only.
I think it's a very exclusive club. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Only two
VIP.
people in it, me and Seth.
I haven't found that reality TV and relationships often, are work well together at times. Or you have to be very strong to survive, the drama that is, what you ladies do. Because, I mean, truly, I say this all the time, as someone who knows what it's like to be on reality TV, certainly not what it's like to be in your world, but just you ladies do, regardless of the commentary, and we talk about the show and we love it as fans, and whether we're like team, Meredith or team Whitney, like all of you ladies give a lot of your lives. I love the Salt Lake City opening in a way that, like, I don't think I love how you guys really talk about how authentic and how vulnerable each of you are, and it's tough. It's tough to maintain normalcy, family and the relationship. So much is put out there for us to judge and criticize, and that must be very difficult at times. So for you guys to not only make it work, but to reunite during that period is really something.
Yeah, I mean, because we were in the space that we were in, working on our communication and with the therapist, and then of course, when the world shut down, you do a very deep reevaluation of what's important in life. Like everyone thought they were dying,
Yeah.
and so I just think that those things put together, reality TV, yes, it can be very difficult, but it also can be, like I said, enlightening and if you're someone who can be introspective and self-reflective, and I'm not saying everyone of the women that are on my show can be, but some can, some cannot. And I think I can. You really can learn a lot about yourself and about like the way, if you are open to learning, and to me, it's like, it's not just about always being right. It's about me understanding like why someone perceived what I was doing was whatever it was when that wasn't my intention, so that I can do better and be better, and a lot of the women play this like tit for tat game. Like, you did this to me, so I'm going to do that to you. You were nice to me. So that's not the way I live at all. I try to do better. I try to be better. I try to grow. To me, giving is about, wanting to get, like Angie's whole thing. I gave you a present. I don't give people presents to hold it over their heads. I did have an anniversary gift for them. She knows this. I had received some sad news right before I walked in to the thing and was very stressed and forgot her gift, and she knew that, but it's fine. It's no big deal, and then the next time I saw them was Palm Springs, and that didn't go well. So I didn't feel like giving them the gift, so I wasn't going to. Still have it. Maybe I will this year.
What's the
gift? What?
What's the gift?
Oh, I'm not telling. It's not shampoo.
Maybe she'll be nicer when she finds out you got her some cool shit.
Maybe it's just caviar. She wants to give me the shampoo. I'll give her. No,
Okay.
it's not caviar either.
You and Seth, like right now, stronger than ever, doing well?
We are. It's been a little bit of a tougher year because, like I said, like this whole thing, everything locked down in COVID. And then he was like, I was with him, during lockdown. And then after that, he was pretty much working remote. So he was just traveling wherever I needed to be and doing whatever I needed to do. And then this year, and, in the new year, in January, he really needed to be in Columbus. And as the year progressed, needed to spend more and more and more and more time there. And it was hard because it's not what we were used to. We got very used to being together all the time. And as much as he can get on my nerves from time to time, it is really nice, and it's like you're connected. And when we're in different places, it's tough because like he'll call me when he gets home from dinner and I'm on my way out to dinner, and you're on different schedules, and so it's hard to even connect and catch up. So
especially
it's been tough,
especially with couples, right? Because I think Nellie and I, when we met, she was living in Savannah, I was in LA. So when it's long distance there's an excitement, to call, download your day, whatever. But once you have a routine with someone, you live together, when you're catching up, it's like, how's your day? It's like good.
right?
Okay, bye. Like it's harder to just sit down and have a chat and connect when you're just, you feel like everything about that person in person. Much easier you can connect in a million different ways other than words and things like that, and communicate that way. So yeah, it does make
Even
it
if
much
we're
tougher.
just in the same bed at night, even if we're both running and doing totally different things all day, and we're just like that intertwined leg, whatever it is, that little, like those connections I think are important. So it is difficult, but we'll see, what the next chapter brings. He's wrapping up what he's been working on and moving on. And so I'm hopeful that
we're
he'll
excited
be
to
with me more.
maybe be in Columbus less and with you more. Okay. Yeah, because I think during the Palm Springs episode, I feel like he had to leave, and I feel like there was like online speculation is like, oh, is this going to be the beginning of like something wrong with Meredith and Seth? But like for the most part, we're doing okay.
Oh no, we're doing great. We're nowhere at that place. Nowhere even near that place.
How did you guys deal when you guys did file, or when it was like, ooh, I don't know if we're going to make it? How did you guys communicate that with the kids? And what is that like from a parent? Hopefully now and I never deal with that, but I'm sure over the years there'll be moments of disconnect and we'll have to work to stay connected. But that must be very scary and challenging to feel like you're in this disconnection with your husband and considering divorce, knowing that you have children, and then what are we going to say? What was that like, and how did you guys handle that?
Yeah, it's horrible. Because, every parent wants to do is to protect their kids. And that's all we wanted, was to protect our kids. And that's why we were, very secretive about all of our problems from them. Like they really didn't, at least I like to think they didn't know. They probably did at some level. And I don't know. The crazy thing for me is that I had always said, like, I want my kids to witness healthy relationships. And like, if my marriage isn't good, I need to just like move on and get a divorce and not, let them live in that life. And I did the exact opposite when it actually happened to me. And I don't really know why. I think it was kind of like, oh, we've made it this far. There's not, the kids are almost out of the house. Let it just whatever. And it was a really bad idea, because the more you try to sweep things under the rug, the more they like rear their ugly heads, and it just gets worse and snowballs and exacerbates itself. And so I wouldn't recommend anyone following the path that I went down during that time. I don't think it was a positive way to handle things. The path I would recommend following would be our reconciliation.
Is there anything from this season, because you talked about being reflective and being able to admit you're wrong, is there anything looking back? Because when I was on TV, you something happens, you're in a fight, you leave that, and like you said, the benefit of TV is you get to go back and have it replayed, and assuming everything is shown as it airs, you can sometimes be like, oh, well.
Yeah, I'd love to point something out about that. That's interesting that you brought that up, because you know what you're talking about. You're talking about when we were at Mary's lunch and Angie said something about the past, and I said, well, if you want to go backwards, I don't think that's productive.
Yes,
Do you want to go backwards? I don't want to go backwards.
And she's like, are you threatening me?
Yes,
okay.
I'm so glad you brought that up, actually. Thank you.
Okay.
For a few reasons. First and foremost, you saw that exact same dynamic moments earlier with Bronwyn and her prenup, and nobody had a problem with her saying it. She's like, you want to talk about my prenup? We can go there. I don't think you're going to like the outcome, or whatever it was, something like that. Same exact dynamic, not a problem. It's a double standard with me, with the ladies. I was not threatening Angie. I was saying, I don't want to go backwards. Like, I don't think it's positive for me or for her. That's not a threat in my view.
Just like in general, you don't want to live in the past. You don't want to.
No, I don't. I don't think that's positive.
It was free advice.
It was weird to me that she was so offended, and she keeps making these accusations of me threatening her. But the reality is, She's the one who has threatened me in the cave in Bermuda. She flat out looked at me and said, I am threatening you. Like, it couldn't be any more clear, you know? And then we see her confessionals, her like speculating on taking a hit out on my family, whatever. I think that was a joke, but my point is,
strong joke.
I'm not the one making the threats
Do you
here.
think it's because there's a little bit of like, I guess, fear of what they think you could be capable of because you have the education and background that you do as opposed to someone else saying something? It just seems more or less harmless.
Maybe I should make a threat. They should be. No, I'm kidding.
I will say, a question. Would you rather be liked or respected?
I'd rather be respected. I don't really
Would
care. I don't really
Would
care
you
if
rather be
people
liked
like
or feared?
me. I don't think I really want to be feared.
Not like scary or bad, but like not so bad if people
feared,
are
I'm
little...
not sure if that's the exact thing I would want. I don't think I'd want that. But
Okay.
respected, yes.
I mean,
Respected, yes.
sometimes you fear people you respect. Just because you fear someone doesn't mean they're bad or capable of doing something bad. Maybe you're just like, you fear what they're capable of. Especially if you're in the wrong sometimes. You know, maybe you...
Okay, then I'm okay with fear.
I'm fine with people being afraid of me. Yeah.
Speaking of people being afraid and fear, you are still in communication with Jen Shah.
Yeah, well, I spoke, she called.
Okay.
Like yesterday?
A couple months ago. And that's the only time I've ever
What's that
communicated
call
with
like?
her. It was
Is it like
wild. I answered the phone and it's like, you have
a collect call.
Have a call from a federal penitentiary. I don't know. Something like, it was like this
And you must have
weird
immediately
voice.
assumed it was Jen.
Well, yeah, that's the only call I'd be getting from a federal penitentiary, at least that I'm aware of. And you know, it's limited to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the recorded voice comes on probably every 3 to remind you that you're on the phone with a federal penitentiary.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it was a very like simple call, you know, because
she was just calling to say hi, just check in, see how the
pretty
kids are.
much, you know, just kind of, I mean, it was really like, how's your family? What's, you know, going on? She seemed relatively upbeat and, you know, she seemed to be doing well. And I
Didn't
know,
ask you like to bake a cake and put a spoon in it or anything like that?
no, none of that. None of that. No smuggling. Yeah, no, I mean, I think, you know, she's serving her time and paying the restitution that she can. And I'm told that Coach is assisting and paying restitution as well. So what else can you ask for?
Yeah. And how do you kind of, as a friend, how do you reconcile with that versus, you know, hey, she did a thing. It wasn't great. There's certainly victims involved. I think anyone in our lives that we care about, you know, we want to offer grace for the same reasons that we hope people offer us grace, you know, if we fuck up, you know, and then we have to kind of measure the fuck up versus like, am I even capable of doing like that, something like that? And so how have you reconciled your relationship with Jen versus like what she did and kind of where she is now, if there has been any growth or, you know, reconciliation on her part?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very hopeful that there's, you know, been growth. I don't know because I'm not in consistent communication with her, but from what I'm, you know, told that is working on herself very hard. It's interesting to me because I think a lot of people didn't understand what happened in season 3 and how I was able to, you know, be there for Jen and why I was able to turn my attitude around with her, especially after what we went through with Brooks and how, you know, obviously I'm very protective of Brooks. I don't think anyone would debate that. And the reality is, you know, Jen during that time had, you know, made an attempt on her life. And I went through that with my nephew at that same point in time, and it weighed very heavy on me. And I made a commitment to myself that, you know, if in fact she was innocent, then I'd stand by and, you know, help her work through that and get the help she needed at that point. And if in fact she was not, I was not. She needed support, and I couldn't watch that with what I had been through, and so I just let it all go. And that's what's so funny to me, because these women are like, she holds grudges. I hold grudges the least of anybody. Like, I let everything go. I very, very easily. I'm pretty forgiving. And so that's really what happened. I said, you know, I've got you. You know, whatever happened in the past is in the past. And I wanted to make sure that she made it through the process alive. That was really the bottom line to me. So she and I have work to do when she gets out, if there's going to be something to move forward on. We didn't really resolve anything. We tabled it, and she can, show that she's grown and wants to do better, and we can move on, or she can show that she hasn't. I'm hopeful, for the former.
But you're willing clearly to give her the opportunity to see if she has growth.
Well, of course. I mean, let me ask you this, we have to believe in second chances in life, Otherwise, what is there left? What am I supposed to say? You did something that's so bad, you should go sit in the corner and just die. Yeah. No, you can't. If she's being accountable, if she's being apologetic, if she's paying her dues, served her time and is paying her restitution and makes right on any wrongs that she had done to the people around her, her friends, what more could you ask someone for? You got to move on.
Is there any part of you that would want her back on the show?
I mean, that's not my choice, so I don't know.
No, but we would love to know if it was. I think if casting or the producers called you up to Meredith, we're struggling here. Not really sure what we should do with Jen. We trust your judgment.
Oh my gosh.
You have great taste. What do you think, Meredith? The buck stops with you.
Yeah, I think it would have to be kind of baby steps to see how she handles everything. I think
like a friend of.
I don't know. I think I think a lot of times when anyone new comes in, no one really knows what capacity they're coming in as, And so, I mean, I don't think they should make any kind of guarantees, but I think people deserve a second chance, in my view, if they're righting the wrongs.
Would you rather have Jen or Monica back?
I think that the issue for me with Monica is that she hasn't taken accountability, and I think that would be a first step to anything. Mm-hmm. Whereas, I mean, Jen's had the roughest of accountability. She's in federal prison. Has
Jen apologized to you or the other ladies for whatever lies she may have told or deception she might have kind of portrayed between?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying everything kind of went on hold, and there's stuff to work through still.
Okay, so we have to see on Jen, but she's been in prison, so
where
who
that
knows?
goes. But my point is, second chances. Okay. Let's see if she can step up. I think she can.
What part with Monica do you think she needs to take accountability for? It's been a while since we had Monica here and interviewed her, and certainly she was very defensive of her POV.
I think it was a lot of remaining I never said anything about the women on the show. That was the other people who were running the account. I think she still stands by that.
Okay. Yeah, but from your point of view, Meredith, just between you and Monica, if Monica called you up and was kind of like, "Hey, Meredith, what's up?" What would you want to hear from her for you to be open to the possibility of considering Monica was heading in the right direction?
So what's really interesting to me with Monica is that she has publicly taken accountability for a lot of the issues that I personally had with her. She just never did it with me. Okay. So, but on her own podcast, I have a whole audio clip from her podcast where, she was, they were explaining Angie scroll to her, and she goes, "Oh, I did all of those things. Why is she accusing Meredith of this? Da 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 da." And so she did take accountability for it, just not to directly. Me and not at reunion and not in a way that would help move her forward. I mean, it's kind of odd to me that that's how she chose to do it, but I'm glad she did.
The holidays are here, and when you're crossing names off your holiday list, you can't forget your pet. Whether you're looking for food, toys, treats, travel supplies, or anything else your pet could need, Chewy has it all. With the holiday shopping season winding down, Chewy is giving you a gift. Huge savings up to 40 or even up to 60% off, flash deals, BOGOs, and so much more. Not just for dogs and cats, birds, fish, reptiles, and more. Whatever your pet preferences are, Chewy has you covered. Now, the holiday Yeti squeaky toys are as durable as they are adorable. And you can certainly quote Steve, my dog. He ruins everything, except not these Yeti squeaky toys. They love them and they last. And you can buy them in packs of 3. Chewy. And this time of year, Chewy's auto ship feature is the real stress-reducing hero. You can set up a recurring shipments of all the essentials so that you never run out. You can change or cancel your auto ship order anytime. Speaking of not worrying, Chewy has their top-tier 24/7 service. You can get their expert advice over chat or phone, day or night. Plus, if your pet or you don't love something, Chewy's 100% satisfaction guarantee lets you return it within a year. No questions asked. That's incredible. Don't forget gifts for your pet this holiday season. Take advantage of the amazing deals and shop my personal favorites at chewy.com/VIALL. That's chewy.com/VIALL. Chewy.com/VIALL. Winter's around the corner, which means cooling weather and more time on the go. Vionic has the best essential styles for everyday wear to get you ready for the season. Slippers, flats, boots, sneakers, and more. Vionic's exclusive Viall motion technology is what sets them apart. They began by revolutionizing medical orthotics. Today, they continue to use their science to engineer shoes that leave you feeling energized and confident all day. You got to protect your feet, people. Super important, and Vionic has you covered. Plus, they even offer a 30-day guarantee. Wear them, love them, or return them for a full refund within 30 days. For those ladies out there, be sure to check out their Uptown Loafer, Natalie's favorite. They have loads of shades of premium suede and leather to choose from. Smartly deconstructed to collapse flat. We love that. Perfectly packable for your upcoming travels. For the guys out there, the Uptown Clog, you can slide into comfort. This lightweight clog offers a flexible outsole, Vionic's exclusive supportive insole, and foot molding supple leather uppers. Their perfect closet staple has arrived. Certainly it's arrived in my closet, and it's the perfect around-the-house thing to put on your feet. The Unwind Slipper. Slip into your classic slipper, featuring a cozy felted upper for a comfortable fit. Vionic's exclusive contour footbed gives you the ultimate support indoor and out there. It's got to protect your feet, people, and look to Vionic to protect your feet. Make sure they're comfortable all season long. People, if you're looking for that last-minute perfect holiday gift that your family and friends will love, look at Vionic. Slippers are like the great, bonus gift that everyone needs this holiday season. Use new code VIALL at checkout for 15% off your entire order at www.vionicshoes.com when you log into your account. One-time use only. Vionic shoes, wearable, well-being on your feet.
What did you think of Heather announcing in her book that Coach and Monica shared some sort of relationship kiss moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's not true. But that's something I just would have never touched upon.
Wouldn't have even gone there.
Yeah, no, that would have been a hard no for me.
Okay.
Where do you stand with Heather?
Heather, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. You'll see. We have a little bit of conflict at one point. You'll see. But, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
We're great. She texted me on my birthday and everything's all good.
Okay.
Where is Mei Lee in all of this? I feel like she's been introduced and then she kind of
MIA.
Yeah.
She kind of disappeared, like she was around at the beginning and then I don't know what happened and why she wasn't really around. I'm not sure what happened. Like obviously she wasn't invited to Palm Springs, so that
right.
narrowed it down a little there. And then the next time we saw her was at camping.
Mm-hmm.
And then she didn't go on the trip to Puerto Vallarta. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's really it. She missed 2 of the trips. So that kind of
maybe
limits
after she got roped
time.
into high body count hair.
Her bump it.
Her bump it. Yeah,
Yeah.
her bump it with Brittany. She was like, you know what? Maybe I'm done
had
with these
enough.
people. Yeah.
I've had look, I wouldn't blame her.
From a TV standpoint, I've really enjoyed the newcomers in Bronwyn and Brittany. They're very entertaining. How is your relationship with both of those ladies, and how do you see their kind of arrival onto the scene?
Bronwyn and Brittany, I made a choice going into the season with all the newbies that I've had too many surprises in the past with newbies, and that I was kind of reserving all judgment until I actually saw the full season.
Okay.
I had some ups and downs with both, mostly at the end, you'll see.
Okay.
And
Can you tease which one in particular?
well, I think we all saw me screaming like a crazy person on the van. You're recording us. You're vile and
Oh,
disgusting.
yes,
Yeah, it was
yes.
not my finest moment,
That's what we love about
but it
you.
was real. I was pretty upset. And there was other stuff that kind of went down in the same time frame that probably incited me a bit more and kind of all combined created the explosion.
Okay.
So yes, we definitely had some ups and downs. And Bronwyn was a little more of an easy resolution. I think it was pretty easy to clean up at reunion. Like
Bronwyn strikes me. We
issues.
got to interview her. We met her. We saw her at Kathy Hilton's party. Why weren't you at Kathy Hilton's Christmas party?
Well, I went last night for the Glad party. I couldn't come in. I had other stuff in New York last week,
Busy bee.
so
She's busy.
I have to
She's
pick
booked
and
and busy.
choose my
We were
my
sad
weeks
'cause
in
we were-
LA.
Yeah, Bronwyn, her vibe, which is why I partly just really enjoy her as a housewife, is sure she can be messy. She seems to want to be a good housewife and make her mark, but she does seem to be willing to take accountability. She seems to apologize pretty easily. Do you agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I think so. I think apologize very easily. Yes. Accountability, if she agrees, yes. Yes.
Okay.
I think she plays a little bit with semantics, but yes, I agree with what you're saying. I do.
Brittany, I mean, TV-wise, I didn't realize how much I enjoy watching her until it was Palm Springs when I was like, wait, what's missing? It's like Brittany. I do struggle, though, just as a new father. It's been a challenge for me, and I'm curious, as someone who's gotten to know her, to see her, I love that she's out there dating. I love that she's still pursuing love at this stage of her life. It's sometimes hard to watch when she references her disconnect with her children almost as like an afterthought, and that's like how it comes across. How do you see that? Have you guys had any conversations about that? Obviously kind of a sensitive issue with children involved, but like she does bring it up. Is that as tough for you as someone who's obviously very protective and very involved in your children's lives for Brittany to at least seemingly prioritize some of these messy men over her children, or is that an unfair statement?
I don't know enough about her situation to know if that's a fair or unfair statement, but it's hard. I mean, it's a really tough situation. First of all, I don't really fully understand the circumstances of her relationship with the kids and exactly why it is broken or somewhat broken. I think it's somewhat repaired, but I'm
Well,
not
she had
really.
an announcement, and she did spend time with.
Exactly.
We got
We'll
an
get an
announcement,
announcement,
yeah.
right? So it's tricky because you never really understand. I mean, for me, there's nothing that's more important than my children. I don't know that she doesn't feel the same way. I would imagine she does. I think she's had certain traumas that maybe have made her take actions that she regrets. It's hard to speak for somebody else. I mean, I think she genuinely loves her children and wants a positive relationship there. And I think, that she wants to try to repair it. So I hope she does.
How have you managed your public life with, your relationship with your children? Because I don't know, I imagine that must bring challenges, especially when you're involved in drama or whatever. Like, are your kids pretty cool with that? Has it ever created any ripples in terms of frustration with your kids for having to protect their mom? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of all the things that
Yeah.
young kids or young adults or teenagers might, take
I
exception
mean,
with their parents being on TV.
nothing major and nothing recent, but
Okay.
at the beginning it was a little trickier. First of all, they were younger and you say something that you don't realize is something you're not supposed to say because they're young and sensitive,
Mhm.
and then you feel horrible and that's a whole issue and whatever else. So we had that and then, of course, like there was a lot of trolling with Brooks, when we first started and that was a little rough, but that's all fine. Like, I think my whole family has grown to have thicker skin and we've just grown a lot closer. It's like you recognize how important family is, you recognize how important these relationships are and that you really are there to support each other, really are the ones who understand what's going on, because there's a lot of elements that people can't possibly even understand
Yeah.
what you deal with.
How have you kind of handled involving your kids? I think there's obviously with this season, what Mary's going through with her son. I mean, I haven't in the past 2 episodes of crying just watching the scene. And, there's a lot of discourse online, which I kind of, I'll be honest, see both sides. I think one side, you have some people being like, should we be watching this? It almost feels like too intrusive. On the other side, I really have appreciated how Mary has addressed this very sad situation and the vulnerability that she has presented. And I thought it was just really brave of her as a parent to me, it wasn't about like taking blame, but I think sometimes in situations as parents, a lot of people are like, oh, it's never your fault, or like your friends will be like, oh, and which I completely agree. There's a lot of things that are outside of our control. I just really appreciated Mary's willingness to consider the possibility that like she had a role to play, and not for like blaming herself, but it was what seemed obvious to me is that all Mary cared about was her son and her son getting better, and she was willing to take whatever accountability she needed to, if there was accountability to take, just for her son to get better. And I just really thought that was a really positive and healthy message to kind of share with the world, even at the risk of airing something that seemed very personal and sensitive. I guess, how do you see it, and how do you balance that on your own end with your family, between trying to figure out, like, should we be airing this out and sharing with the world, or hey, this could have a positive impact on maybe other people's lives who have kids struggling with addiction and things like that. So yeah, how do you see it?
Look, I think that the message Mary sent to, a lot of kids who could be in very fragile circumstances, go seek help from your mother, your parents. I think it's such an important message that maybe not everyone would do that if they were in the same shoes, but I don't think you can criticize it. I think like you're sharing something that could really help a lot of people, like could save lives, And so I don't think you can criticize that. I think that's not fair. Like maybe it wouldn't be right for you in your personal circumstances, but we all, I think, share things because, at least I hope, we want to help others, and we want to make things better for other people. I hope that's what we're all doing to some extent. And that's why, like with the hearing aid thing, I was irritated because I'm like, I shared this because there's so many people out there that have such a stigma around it. And I wanted people to feel positive and good about it. And so I was like, if you're making fun of it, you're taking away from the positive message I'm sending to people. And, so that's why, it wasn't that big of a deal, but that's why it was a big deal to me.
Sure.
Because I was trying to make things better for other people by sharing my experience. And I felt like it was detracting from the positive messages I was sending. It's not like it was that,
Yeah. With like very traumatic situations like the one Mary's going through, despite all the drama, are those things that bring the group together and kind of like, hey, despite any differences, we need to come together for Mary, who really is, it's one thing to be fighting about who said what or what rumors were spreading, and then there's another thing to have a friend in need because her son is,
and be like, we're all moms, like we all,
yeah. In theory, yes, I do think that's true, but in reality, I didn't know anything about this until it went on social media in like September, October, whenever we all read about it. So I knew nothing about it. I don't think anybody did except for Angie, as far as I know. But maybe, I don't know.
Have there been any kind of follow-ups with Mary, since the revelation, in terms of checking in?
Oh, I reached out to her immediately when I read the news, and she said, no, everything's good. This was, because I didn't know if it was, the way the news read, I thought it was in real time. I didn't know that it had already happened. Okay. And she said, no, everything's good. That was, during filming and whatever. And so, of course, I checked in, and my nephew also offered, to be of any help he could be, because he went through a very similar circumstance. And, yeah, but no, Mary and I had a nice little text from when I was in New York. I ran into her stylist at Saks, and he actually came up at reunion randomly. So I was telling him about it, and I texted Mary, and told her that I saw him, and that was it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Jumping ship just a little bit, where do the rumors, the Airbnbs, the like, you don't own your own house, like, where is this coming from? Why is it still being brought up?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy how
Right.
obsessed they
It's
are with
weird.
like
And
my
remind me,
lifestyle.
like
It's weird.
That she just like doesn't own her own home, and every season it's a new home, and they say it's like
Yeah.
Airbnbs, and it's like
I mean, it's not an
But-
Airbnb, but it is a winter ski rental. You know, I mean, whatever, Airbnb, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I do take a winter ski rental in the winter. You know, when Seth and I filed for divorce years ago, we sold our house in Park City. It was a second home. We have not lived in Park City full time for over a decade now. We're part timers, and you know, we just at that point we sold it because we thought we were getting divorced. And I actually really like doing the winter ski rental because I come in, I'm there, I leave, I don't have to think about it or worry about it.
right.
You know, we're there 5-6 months out of the year.
And what's
It's
the
great.
criticism? Like it's, you know,
I don't
you're
know.
supposed to own
I
something.
think it's creepy. Like
Isn't
I
it like a
said, I think it's
lifestyle
really
choice?
creepy.
Like
Like, why
you-
does anyone care? We have multiple homes. We live in multiple cities. Like, who cares?
Rent, buy, yeah. I don't know.
It's a great lifestyle. I love it. I live in hotels a lot too. It's really pretty fabulous. In fact, I prefer hotel living.
What are they trying to get to the bottom to?
I don't know. I've been pretty honest about it from day one. I've never like said anything to the contrary. I think it's kind of fabulous, you know, a couple months in Europe in the summer and, you know, a couple months in New York, a couple months in LA. Not so bad.
What do you make of just kind of like what seems to be a Salt Lake City, like Hollywood awakening in a sense that obviously you ladies are crushing, you know, most of us, including me, think Salt Lake City is the best Housewives on TV right now.
Oh, we'll take that. Thank
absolutely.
you.
You have The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu that we got to interview them, you know, also very entertaining television show. I think Bravo's investing in a real estate show.
Selling Salt Lake City or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think is going on in Salt Lake City? What makes all of you so dynamic and interesting? And why do you think everything that Salt Lake is putting out right now seems to be really working?
Well, first of all, we're insane. Okay, let's start there. No. Utah is, you know, it's interesting because we lived in Toronto for a little while shortly before we moved to Park City. And when I moved to Park City, I said Utah is culturally more different than the rest of the US than Toronto was. It's very different. It's hard to explain. I think part of it is just the influence of the church and, you know, having such a heavy religious impact. And I don't know. It's just, it's culturally completely different than anywhere else I've ever lived. More so than Canada.
Wow.
I think that's why it's interesting.
What's your soda drink?
I don't drink soda.
You're not putting coffee creamer in your Dr. Pepper and pickle juice.
No, I don't do those soda things. No. I'm a coffee girl.
What do we want to wrap up with, Meredith? If we had one more question to ask you, or what
Oh
would
my
you want to be
gosh, you're
asked?
flipping the script on me?
Well, we want to be respectful of your time, so we know you got to get going. I could probably talk to you for hours more, but you know, if did we get out everything you wanted to get out, or
I mean, I think we kind of covered most.
Who
Did
was
you-
lying about Alibaba?
What do you mean? Whitney. She didn't have proof about
Okay.
it. Like, she had somebody who played 20 questions with her and said that was
what do you mean?
proof.
So,
Because remember, it was like it's someone. It was the like clue. It's the woman and the candle.
yeah,
with
well,
the-
maybe I'm forgetting. My understanding of the Alibaba, I was Team Whitney at the time. Maybe you can clear it up. It just felt like my understanding of a lot of you ladies have successful businesses. You know, bath bombs. I guess she did a bath bomb. I can see why that irritates you, but regardless. I didn't
I don't
understand.
really care that much.
I
but
didn't.
go
Sure,
on.
I didn't really understand. I don't even know if it was Lisa or whatever. But the rumor that Whitney was doing something wrong because she was like repurposing, I don't know, stuff in Alibaba, which seems to be my understanding. A lot of people. That's kind of isn't that the playbook? I don't know. Like,
So I don't think that anyone was saying Whitney was doing something wrong. So again, like you don't see the whole conversation, but the conversation that Lisa had with me was saying, I feel badly that this is blowing up on social media because it was the presentation was not positive for Whitney, the way it was being presented. And that was really it. We weren't actually discussing whether it was right or wrong or in between. We were just saying we felt badly.
how did that get turned into, from our standpoint, it being seemingly like Whitney was being shady?
What do you mean?
It would just seem like the accusation towards Whitney was that like Whitney was I don't know, doing something that she shouldn't be doing.
With her business?
With her business.
Oh, well, I don't think that was ever the issue because Whitney this is what was weird to me. So from day one, when she first brought it up in the Sprinter van, Whitney's like, I curate and it's on my website. And that's how this came out on social media. They found it on my own website because I said I curated it. So if she says she curated it, there's absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever with what she's doing. Like it's perfectly upfront and honest. But then why was it this whole issue of Lisa telling the blogs that she did it when she said it was from her own website to begin with?
Okay.
It made no sense.
Yeah.
The whole thing made no sense to me. I was very confused. No one was criticizing what she was doing because she flat out said it on her own website. So how could you criticize that?
Right.
You know?
Where did you buy your bangs from?
Forgot about those.
I didn't. I had a hairstylist buy them for me.
I think they look great.
How is that hairstylist taking the reaction to your bangs?
We haven't even talked about it. I mean, I didn't mind the reaction. I thought the whole thing was hysterical.
No, it's iconic.
It's meant to be fun and funny. And, you know, I think it was fun and funny. And if you didn't like it, I'm sorry. I was having fun.
You committed.
Yeah. How do you not show up with bangs?
It's
like,
Audrey
whatever.
Hepburn. Yeah.
I will say I went to the most insane Audrey Hepburn breakfast at Tiffany's holiday party last week. Oh my gosh.
Was everyone wearing bangs?
No, actually, really, people didn't really dress up so much. The hostess did, and a couple people did. I didn't because I had another holiday party after, and I was like,
Been
I
there,
don't think I
done
can
that.
do this, right? Especially with the way the bangs went last time.
Yeah.
But it was so cute. It was so fun. It's such a good theme.
We saw Mary's reaction to Lisa wearing the same outfit that she has worn. Is that kind of like a no-no in the Housewives? It's like, I wore that first.
You know, it's funny because that season I actually went to Paris for Fendi's Haute Couture show right after they released that jumpsuit. And there were at least a dozen people in there in that jumpsuit.
Okay.
So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I think to each his own, you know, wear what makes you happy, do what you want. Like, I don't worry about what everyone else is wearing. I worry about what I'm wearing.
I think my dad has this flannel.
See, there you go.
There you go.
Are you going to get mad?
No, I'm not. I'm above it. Meredith, has been so much fun. Thank you for coming. It's really been a pleasure.
Before we let you go, can you give us one accent that people like to say is fake that I don't believe is fake? I think it is real.
Oh my God. Well, then if I'm doing it, how can it be real? Because then it's going to be fake for sure.
Do you love an impression of yourself?
You know what I'll give you on closing that you'll like? Can I do Lisa Barlow's outgoing voicemail? Because
Please.
I'm obsessed.
Please.
And I literally, like, sometimes my kids are like, be quiet, Mom, because I won't stop doing it.
Please.
We'll never tell you to be quiet.
Okay. Well, thank you. I might stand here for hours now. They're like, no, you have to go. Okay. Hi, you've reached Baby Gorgeous, and I'm unavailable right now to take your call because I'm at the drive-thru. John, tell them easy ice and a lemon. I need my Diet Coke because I love that.
Can I be honest? You almost like shapeshifted into Lisa. You almost looked like Lisa. You even have her mannerisms down. It's very good.
You're a chameleon.
Can we
I was
all
like, holy shit.
convince Lisa to let me leave her outgoing voicemail,
Very good.
please?
Hey, Baby Gorgeous.
Baby
Do you like an
Gorgeous.
impression of yourself?
Yeah, I do like when someone does that. Are you going to
my
do
God.
it?
Mary?
Oh, no,
Oh,
Mary.
I have the rumors and the nastiness. You want to talk about the husbands?
Very good.
Thank you.
That was actually really good.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Meredith, so much fun. We appreciate you.
Oh, you guys are amazing.
Best of luck the rest of the way. Are you definitely back next season?
Well, I don't know.
Is that your plan?
I mean, I have
You
to
have
be
to be.
asked.
Sure.
But
Are you
yes.
anticipating being back next season?
I'm hoping to be back
Okay.
next year.
Okay.
What a humble
we
answer.
are too.
Thank you guys for listening. We thank Meredith for coming. Where can people follow you? All that fun stuff. Bath bombs you want to promote?
Oh, yeah. MeredithMarks.com, MeredithMarksCaviar.com. at Meredith Marks on Instagram, at Meredith Marks 0 on Twitter. Oh, and I had like some Blue Sky impersonator that I can't get down off Blue Sky. I'm the one that has like no followers, and the fake one has all the followers.
I feel like Blue Sky should allow you to take over those followers.
I just learned about it. Somebody like tweeted me and they're like, is this really you? I didn't even know anything. And I went on and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I discovered my whole cast was being, not whole, but most of my cast was being impersonated. I sent a group text and they were like, what's Blue Sky? And I was like, you guys got to get on there. You have people impersonating you. Go figure it out.
All right. Well, you should take over those followers. All right. Now we got to go. All right. Bye, Meredith.
Bye.
Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.